So I took a brand new business from zero to over $1.5 million with 0 employees. And the craziest part is, if you follow exactly what I'm about to show you, you can do it too. Now, before I show you guys how I did this, let me show you the back end and the numbers. So you can see we started out at literally 0. The next month we did 130K. The month after that we did 188, 255, 255, 227, and now it's hovering around 100K a month. And for those who think this is Inspect Element, I'll reload this for you guys. You can see this is in fact not Inspect Element. And some of the comments that I'm seeing is people asking why it says $0 for the next payout. This is because I'm using Stripe for my payment processing. So all payment processing goes through Stripe, which this is the dashboard, and it shows you guys the chart right here. You can see the same exact numbers. And another frequent question I get is, why don't I just reveal my product? And the honest answer is, this video is gonna get views and I'm gonna have hundreds, if not thousands, of copycat stores of my exact product. And you can clearly see I'm still running this. So we have a expected payout of almost 2 grand, 5.7K coming into my bank account. So I'd prefer just to keep the product to myself and just keep it running. However, what I will reveal is the niche that I'm currently selling in is supplements. Now, I'm not necessarily telling you guys to go out and start selling supplements. There are a ton of good niches that you can start out with, and supplements is just one of them. Some of the other niches that absolutely crush are niches like health and beauty, performance and fitness, and again, supplements. But rather limiting myself to specific niches, I like to look for products. And I'll only go out and actually sell a product if it matches these 5 requirements. Number 1 is I want the product to solve a real problem. I don't want to start selling fidget spinners or fidget toys or just random useless gadgets that don't actually solve a real problem. The reason behind this is selling products that actually solve problems are easier to advertise. People actually see the benefit in them, and if the problem is big enough, they're most likely willing to spend up to $50, $60, $70 to fix that problem. Now, number 2 is I want the product to be recently trending. Products that are recently trending just make it so much easier to sell. So for example, you don't want to make the mistake of selling heated jackets in the summer. I mean, unless they have extreme anorexia and they're shivering in the sun somehow, that might be your target market to sell to. But even though it is considered a winning product, if it's not trending at the time or it's not the season for it, it won't make sense to sell. Number 3 is I want the product to have a high perceived value. Now, usually if the product solves a big enough problem, it will have a pretty high perceived value. For example, let's say you watching right now, imagine yourself with a face full of acne. You're probably not gonna be confident or not wanna walk into a class or talk to people because you're insecure about having a bunch of red dots on your forehead. And that's gonna be a big enough insecurity for you to go out and buy a product that you think will actually help that. And trust me, there's nothing that's gonna be stopping you from spending 40, 50 bucks if it means you can have a clear face. And the next thing is you wanna make sure your product is easy to ship. You don't wanna start drop shipping whiteboards and cars and microwaves and stuff. You wanna make sure it's small, cheap, easy to ship out, and doesn't weigh too much. This is gonna help your cost, especially at scale. Now, the next one is you wanna be able to mark the product up by at least 3x and have a $15 to $20 margin. So let's say it costs you $10 to get the product from China. You want to be able to sell it for at least $30, leaving you with a $20 margin. And just a little bonus tip, you want to make sure your TAM is pretty high, your total addressable market. Write that down. You learn something new every day. You want to make sure your total addressable market is big enough to be able to scale to 100K months. Again, you don't want to sell a product that's so niche that only a couple hundred people are going to be able to buy it. Now, there are a few methods that you can use to actually find products that meet this criteria. However, the one that's working the best right now is using this tool, Calodata. Now, what I like to do once I'm on here is go over to launch date and filter by products that have been launched within the past 30 days and click on submit. Now it's gonna show us a bunch of products that are recently trending. Now you can keep scrolling pages upon pages and they're just an endless selection of products. However, I do have a more in-depth guide for those who want to see more in-depth product research video, and I'll link that somewhere at the top of this video. However, I'm gonna go ahead and find a product that's trending to show you guys an example of what you can actually go out and start selling. Okay, good news. So I didn't only find one product, but 2 different products that you can actually go out and sell. This one is a makeup and beauty product. It's basically some setting spray that's sweat proof and waterproof and smudge proof. And they're selling it for $36. And we can get it off AliExpress for around $8. Usually when it says 99 cents, it comes out to around $8. So our profit margin is pretty good. And you can see this product on TikTok Shop is doing around 10K per day right now, meaning if we take this over to Facebook ads and start running it on Facebook, we can easily do that, if not higher. Now, all the content is provided here. However, a little bit of disclaimer, if you do decide to use the videos provided here, when you are scaling, transition over to your custom content. But when you're first using it for proof of concept, it's completely fine. So this was the first product. Here's another product example that you can go out and sell. This is an instant eye bag eraser. You can see this is doing around 20K per day, and this was launched just a few days ago. You can see the content for it right here. People are absolutely crushing it with these video ads. So both of these products solve a big problem. They're recently trending. You can sell it for around 3 times more than what it's worth. They're small, they're easy to ship out, and they have a pretty big TAM. For those of you with short-term memory, total addressable market. Okay, so we pretty much found a product that meets all the requirements. What's next? Bad news is we have to actually build a website for our product. Obviously, people aren't just gonna buy this product from thin air. We need a product page. We need something that looks nice and something that people can trust to actually put their credit card information and buy from. Now, the good news is we don't need any employees or designers. We can do that all pretty quickly with AI. Now, I'll leave a link to my AI Shopify store builder down in the description. You can go ahead and just go through it, click start your store, choose your store color, click on next, and then you wanna go ahead and click on create account. Once you create your Shopify store, follow the instructions and put your URL right here. Click on next step. Once you're on the next step, follow all the directions within this video. Paste your access token in here so the AI can build your store. Click on next step once again. Once that's done, go ahead and activate your Shopify plan and then click on start store build. Cool, so now within a few seconds, our store will be fully built for us. All right, so our store is complete. Go ahead and click on next step. Once you're on this page, you can go ahead and click view your store. So you can see the store is pretty much done. It's gonna build you what's known as a hybrid branded store, which is how I make all of my stores, which essentially means you can sell any type of products. There's a bunch of preloaded products on there as well. So all of these types of products, even though they're in different niches, will work on this store. Because again, the word Avela doesn't really mean anything. And you can sell anything from supplements to creams to baby products, and it will still make sense due to the simple fact that the store isn't named something specific like dogcollars.com or beautysupply.com, limiting you to only beauty products. The store is named something very broad like Shop Avela, to the point where you can upload almost any product on there. Now, although there are preloaded products on the store, we're gonna wanna go and add the product that we found earlier on CaloData. And how we're gonna do this is go to the products tab right here, click on add product, and then go ahead and just create a listing for your product. So I went ahead and titled it Avela Waterproof Setting Spray. Again, I don't really know what this product does, but this is what I'm gonna keep the title for right now. Now for the description, I'm gonna use my custom ChatGPT prompt right here, which you guys can access using the link below. And all we have to do is simply paste the competitor's link, and it will make a nice description for us. So you can see it made us a pretty nice description. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this, paste it inside of my store. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these lines here just because I don't want any of those. And then we're gonna go ahead and click save. Okay, so we have the product title, we have the product description. Last but not least, we need the product images. Now, having good product images is crucial, but again, I didn't use any employees, I didn't hire anybody. I didn't become a magical photographer out of nowhere. Again, I used AI for this. So again, my ChatGPT prompt will be linked below. You can go over to the brand image generator and click on I want to create high quality product images. And it's just gonna ask you to upload a sample picture of the product, which you can just take from the supplier on AliExpress. So in this example, I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot this right here. And we can go ahead and just simply upload it to ChatGPT and describe how we actually want it to make the product images. So I went ahead and put a short description of how I want the image to be, and then go ahead and click enter. And it should create your image in just a few minutes. Okay, perfect. So the image is officially complete. You can see it looks very, very nice, especially in comparison to just this blank random AliExpress supplier image. So all we have to do is go ahead and download this and then upload it onto our store. So I'm gonna go ahead and click upload, find the product image and upload it. Once that's done, we're gonna scroll down, set the price of your product. We're gonna set it to $24.95. Scroll down and untrack the inventory just because you don't wanna be marked as sold out whenever somebody purchases, and then click on save. Now we can go ahead and click view. Okay, so as you can see, we have a pretty nice product page. You don't need to go anything crazy, especially when you're first starting out. I would recommend adding more images than just one image, of course, and add testimonials, add proof of people actually using the product and seeing success with it. And you can see we have the FAQ right here. You obviously want to fill this in. You can go on Amazon and see what questions people are frequently asking and handle the objections in here. But this is pretty much it for the store build. You don't need to go all out or do anything crazy, especially when you're first testing a product. You want to just do the bare minimum and see if it works. Once it actually works, that's when you can go and actually start improving upon things, make things look fancy, make things look pretty. We found the product, we built the website, and now we just need to get customers. And how we're gonna do this is actually by running Facebook ads. Now, before we actually start running ads, we need to get some content. So there are two ways that we could do this. Again, if you remember, Calodata provides pieces of content that we can use, so we can literally download the clips from there and upload it as ads, but that does have a possibility of the creators reaching out, telling you to take it down. So method number two is using my team over at Bands Off Ads. These guys will find the clips for you, add the music, create the script, do everything for you using existing content. So that way it becomes a unique piece of content and you can use that on your ads. So depending on which way you go, you want to get at least 9 to 10 pieces of content before you can start running ads. All right, once you have that, we're gonna hop into Facebook. Now, I do have a full Facebook ads guide if you guys wanna see a more in-depth video, but our setup is gonna be very, very simple. We're gonna have one CBO campaign that runs at 50 to 100 bucks per day. I just did 100 for this example. Once we click into this, you can see that we have set 1, set 2, and set 3. Each set will have 3 creatives. So again, that's why I recommend starting with around 9 creatives. So you can put 3 creatives into set number 1, 3 into set number 2, and 3 into set number 3. So you can see we have ad 1, ad 2, and ad 3. And each of these ads will have the same exact primary text and the same headline. And you can see for the headline, we can just fill it in with whatever it is we're offering, whether that's 50% off, buy one, get one free, buy 2, get 2 free, free shipping today, whatever that might be, you can add in the headline. And for the primary text, you want to add a hook with the benefit of your product, 3 different bulleted benefits, and then a call to action. I have a custom ChatGPT prompt that will make this for you, linked below, so you don't have to do any of the hard work. And for the call to action, we want to set this to shop now. And you can see we have a full ad ready to go. So you can go ahead and click publish, let this run for at least 72 hours. Now, within the 72 hours, you can turn ads off if they're performing terrible, or you can keep it running based on how it's doing. Now, if you want a little bit of a guide on what actions to take in that 72-hour time period, you can go over to this AI sheet that I have and click on advertising analysis. Now, this will sort of give you a direction on how you can fix or how you can go about certain days. So let's say your cost per click is very high. This is going to show you what you can do to fix your cost per click. Now, let's say you're getting sales, but you're not profitable. This is, again, going to show you what to do to fix that. Now, you can just sort of use this as a little bit of a guide rail, or you can watch my entire Facebook ads guide, which I'll link somewhere at the top of the screen. So we pretty much did it. These are the exact steps that I took to build a $1.5 million business with 0 employees. I have a customer service AI agent. I do have one real person, but they're not an employee. And then I just have my private supplier in China fulfilling all the orders. So again, follow the steps. Of course, there's going to be roadblocks and problems that come along the way. And if you're someone that needs that extra push, extra guidance, and just that confirmation on if what you're doing is correct, I have opened a few one-on-one slots, which I'll leave in the link below. Now, it is application only, so feel free to apply to see if you're a good fit, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.